I have never said this out loud, but I need to get it off my chest. I'm a 26-year-old man, turning 27 soon, posting anonymously because I need privacy. I have tears in my eyes as I write this. This is my story. I first discovered pornography in 2011. At first it was occasional. Back then, internet access was limited, so it wasn't something I watched regularly. But as access improved over the years, porn slowly became the default. At some point, it started feeling like it was changing me. In ninth grade, I had a crush on a girl from my tuition class. We spent a lot of time together and I felt a genuine connection. I think she might have liked me too, but I never gathered the courage to say anything. I still regret not telling her how I felt. By 11th grade, I had full internet access and my porn consumption increased sharply. Real life began to feel dull and imperfect compared to what I saw online. I kept comparing everything around me to that perfect world on my screen. My grades slipped semester after semester, and my confidence took a hit, though I didn't really recognize it back then. By 12th grade, I was watching porn almost every day. It started shaping my expectations in ways I didn't understand at the time. I remember scoring only 60 out of 360 in JE mains, far below what I had hoped for. I'd always wanted to become a software engineer, so I joined an engineering college. But the same pattern continued there too. I rarely felt attracted to classmates because I kept comparing them to unrealistic images from porn. There was even a moment when I watched a video on my phone during class. Looking back, that says a lot about how much control it had over me. Any free moment would go into consuming more content. I had a crush in college on a girl from another department, but I never spoke to her. In hindsight, it felt more like lust than a real emotional connection. Around the same time, I also got addicted to PUBG Mobile. I spent hours either playing or watching streamers. This went on for several semesters, and the porn habit never really stopped. Despite all this, my grades stayed good. I would study the night before exams and still managed to keep a CGPA above 9.3. Slowly, I stopped taking pictures of myself. Socializing started to feel forced, even at family functions. In my final semester, I realized my habits weren't preparing me for an actual job, so I started upskilling on my own. I also noticed that I was constantly chasing perfection in everything. Looking back, I feel this came from the unrealistic standards porn had set in my mind. After graduation, I got my first software job about 5 months later, in 2021. Around that time, Instagram also started feeling forced and performative, so I deleted my account and never returned. When I began that first job, I moved out and started living alone. That phase turned out to be very positive for me. Living independently forced me to make my own decisions and manage everything myself. It made me more responsible and helped me grow in ways I hadn't before. In my early years at work, I gave it my all. I often did more than what was expected, not to compete with others, but because I genuinely cared about my work and my company. I took full ownership of my tasks and tried to do things properly. Over time, this effort paid off and I progressed well financially. Even then, porn continued to affect my romantic life. I struggled to feel attracted to people at work or anywhere else because I kept comparing them to what I consumed online. My daily routine still revolved around it. As videos became predictable, I moved on to reading erotic stories, but nothing ever felt real or fulfilling. Up until 2024, I genuinely enjoyed my work and learning new things. But in 2025, something changed. My focus completely collapsed. I still like software engineering, but the joy is gone. Now I mostly do the bare minimum just to get by. I used to have many friends in school, college, and at work, but I never stayed in touch. Over time, those connections faded. Today, I don't really have friends. The last photo I took of myself, excluding family pictures, was at my cousin's wedding in 2021. The last proper selfie I took was back in 2018. Earlier this year, I tried socializing online. I reached out to strangers on Reddit for having normal conversations. One of those chats turned into weeks of talking with a woman. Over time, we both developed feelings. I wasn't sure whether what I felt was genuine attraction or just lust, so I was honest about my confusion. We eventually decided not to continue because I wasn't sure of my feelings. In September, I finally decided I had enough and tried to go completely porn-free. I attempted a 90-day reset challenge I read about online, but I relapsed after around 15 days. After that, I fell back into online sexting groups on Discord and Telegram for stimulation. In October, I tried again and managed around 3 weeks before relapsing. I then joined more such communities and continued the cycle. This time, I've made a firm decision. No matter what, I will not watch porn again. I've been porn-free for 7 weeks now, and I want to keep it that way. While chatting with anonymous people online, I often rehearsed or drafted my replies using writing tools because I was afraid they would lose interest if I didn't sound articulate enough. I've also been dealing with a lot of anxiety and stress. My sleep is poor. Since going porn-free, I have sexual thoughts almost every day. I feel extremely socially anxious. I rarely leave the house except to go to work or get food. When I'm not in the office, I mostly lie in bed. I don't listen to music anymore. I don't dance. Things that once felt natural now feel distant. I've stopped working out and stopped paying attention to my diet. I've lost weight. Work stress feels constant, and I'm almost always tense and nervous. My parents bring up marriage every few months. I tell them I'm not ready, and that's the truth. Still, those conversations add to my anxiety because I know I'm not emotionally or mentally prepared for something so big. I struggle to message people naturally and often rely on scripted replies. Deleting Instagram has cut me off from many connections. At work now, my friendships are mostly surface level. It's usually limited to venting about work or grabbing drinks once every 2 or 3 months. I've come to realize how much porn distorted my expectations and damaged my ability to form real connections. It ruined my focus, hurt my social life, shattered my confidence, and warped how I see myself. I don't have clear answers yet, and I know some of my thinking may still be skewed. I'm not posting this for sympathy or advice. I just needed to put this somewhere outside my own head. Carrying all of this silently for years has been exhausting, and writing it out feels like the first honest step I've taken for myself. I'm genuinely crying as I write this. I want to feel lighter, not heavier. I want to heal and rebuild.